welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Samai Marie, aka Maya, and today I am back with another video. You guys can see by the title, today I am going to be showing you how I get my clean girl makeup as a black or brown girl. Let's not even waste no time. Let's just go ahead and get straight into the video. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I'm going to be starting off on a clean moisturized face. So this is just, you know, to make sure that the makeup sets properly, also so that you can get better results, because what you do to your skin before you start your makeup is always important. This is the Ultra Smoothing Matte Primer from Magic Collection, and I'll just go ahead and take a few pumps of this primer just like this, and I go ahead and rub it in. This is how you want it to look when you're done, fully, you know, pressed in. Doesn't look that different, but trust me, when you do the makeup, it's going to show a difference. For the brows, I am going to be using this NK Super Brow Fixer. This is like a kind of like a styling wax for your eyebrows. This is to hold them in place. I'm going in with a spoolie, the same spoolie that I use to shape my eyebrows with when I'm doing them. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that wax, and I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit on my brows. So as you can see, it's already kind of like sleeking them down. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start shaping them with the wax to kind of make sure that the spoolie is a little wet, so that the wax isn't as hard. So like it's easier to shape them at first, and then when it dries in place. When you're done, go in at the top and shape it up just like that, so you can have like a clean finish. And this is how you're going to get the first part of the brow. So I'm going to go ahead and do this other side, and then I'll see y'all when I'm done. So I'm going to be using this brown eye pencil. This is the Princessa Eye Dark Brown. I'm also going to be using, I'm also going to be using this mirror so that I can get a close-up of my eye. It's a magnifying mirror. So if you want to use a handheld mirror for this next step, I totally recommend it, so you can see up close and not have to lean in. You're going to try to fill in the part of the eyebrow that's not as full as this step is for like the most part. Is people with thinner eyebrows like me. So for people with thinner eyebrows, this is probably a step that you might want to take. Just lightly, ever so lightly, filling in the rest of your eyebrow so that it can get the full effect of the shape that you just made. Blend it out. Right, so as you can see, I basically filled it in, but like not really, so it still has that natural effect. And I made sure that it's super duper sharp so that we can really get that pointed part of the pencil. That is super important for this look, is to keep your natural eyebrow shape. Do not stray from the shape. Another thing too about this method, using an eyebrow pencil color that's a bit lighter than your actual eyebrow helps out a lot, because if you use eyebrow pencil that's darker than your eyebrow, you're going to get that bulky drawn in eyebrow look, which is nothing wrong with that, but that's kind of straying from what we're originally trying to do. And I also like to go in the front too and kind of add a couple of hairs, kind of like that, and then blend it out. So for this next part of these brows, I am going to be using the NK Makeup Perfection Multi-Use Concealer. This is in the color Tan. This is the concealer that is closest to my actual skin tone. Usually for these, for my eyebrows, especially for like my soft glam makeup, I'll use a concealer that is lighter or a shade lighter than my skin, but for this one I'm going to be using one that's pretty close to my skin color, And I'm also going to be going in with a flat head brush. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up the bottom, and only the bottom. I'm not even going to go in and do the top. I'm just going to sharpen up the bottom side of my eyebrows so it can have a cleaner look to it. So after you clean it up, it's gonna look something like this, and as you can see, it looks so much better with the bottom part being cleaned up, and it still is looking very full, very natural, and very precise. That is what you want it to look like. That is the key of clean girl makeup. Next step, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. This is in the color D30 Bronze. As you can see, you guys a little bit of a close-up. I'm going to be putting a pump on top of my hand. Some people I've seen have like little boards that they use, but I'm just going to be using the back of my hand. And I'm going to be pressing the product into the brush. And even though it doesn't look like there's literally anything like going on, I'm going to go ahead and press it into my skin like this and like this, and make sure to blend it in as you apply it. So it's gonna start looking like this, right? It's gonna start naturally blending itself in. As you can see, we're starting to get a bit of a bit more color into our skin. Ooh, almost did my eyebrow. And if you need more, just go back on your hand and start adding it. This is super duper important for this style of makeup, so that nothing looks patchy or not well blended in. Now that we have our base foundation on, and you can see it is, like I said, a bit darker than myself, but trust me, this is going to help in the long run of like the finished look. I'm gonna go ahead and start a little bit with our contouring. I'm going to be going in with the NK Makeup Perfection Multi-Use Concealer. This is in the color Walnut. I usually do not use powder to do contouring. I usually use some type of like concealer or cream or something like that, or maybe sometimes a darker foundation, like as I'm doing now. These are the places that I'm doing the contouring, quote unquote. So it's going to be on my cheekbones, on my jawline, and then also on my nose. So for my nose, we're going to go ahead and just leave that to sit for a second, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on my cheekbones. And for this part, I'm going to do the same method as I did before, and basically pressing the product into the skin just like that. So as you can see, like it's a slight difference, but you can still see the difference, and that is what you want for this style of makeup. You're going to blend it in as much as possible. You do not want this to look patchy or anything like that. You want it to look nice, smooth, and airbrush. And that is my overall take of clean girl makeup, is where the makeup doesn't look like there's clearly makeup, but it's just not as harsh as most makeups look. It still has a nice extra razzle dazzle to it, I guess. So it's gonna look something like this, right? We're gonna leave the nose contour just the way it is, but everything else we've went ahead and we have smoothened it out, so now we can go ahead and move on. So next step, I'm going to be doing basically the signature bright under eye. It's trending makeup now. Everyone loves the bright under eye. I do too. So for this look, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using the NK Makeup Perfection Multi-Use Concealer. I'm going to take a nice little swatch of that under my eye. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in under my eye, and I'm gonna start blending it. I'm gonna also add a little bit in the middle of my forehead like that, and on my chin like that. So as you can see, I didn't add any extra product onto my face. I just took what I had and just put it in that general area, and that's what you kind of want to do for this style of makeup as well. And as you can see, I'm also blending it over my eyes so I can get as close to my eye as possible and blend out like that. So this is what it's going to look like when it starts to blend itself. As you can see, I'm also blending on my cheekbone to really get those colors to fuse together. Okay, so now that I have fully blended everything out, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. Is basically going ahead to going in with a little bit of blush. I'm going to be using Icon Face Palette from Absolute New York in the colors medium to dark. I'm going to be using this color, this matte blush color. What I do is I'm going to use that same wide brush, and I'm going to press it one time. It's gonna look like this, and literally just go ahead and start going in right there on the brighter side. I'm gonna try to get as close to under my eye as possible. Only need like one tap for this to have the right effect, because you don't want it to be too harsh for this look. And I'm just gonna just start blending it in a downward motion like this. And as you can see, it's still very seamless, very smooth. It's gonna look something like that. So as you can see, like you can still see that there's some type of pink going on right there, but it's not very harsh. And after that part, I'm going to start going in with the finishing powder. The finishing powder that I'm going to be using is by NK Makeup, and this is in the color medium. Now, this is a little bit different from the regular finishing powder that I use. The regular finishing powder that I use usually has like a more yellowish tint. This one is more on the just like whiter side. So you want to be really careful with using this one because you don't want the makeup to look ashy. You want to use just a little bit of this powder, and I'm going to go ahead and add some right under the eye, just a little bit. You want to be super mindful about how much you're using, and you just want to pack it in. Right, it's going to start looking like this. See, and it's going to start smoothing it out and smoothing out all of those colors. So it's gonna start looking like this. And you wanna also take some right there where you're gonna contour your face. I'm going to do it downward so that the contour doesn't look as harsh. And then I'm also gonna add some to my forehead, even though I don't really need the forehead to be that bright. My forehead tends to get oily in that T-zone area. So if yours also does that, it helps to add a bit of finishing powder so it can stay dry. Now that we have the lashes on, I'm starting to think I should have went with like a more lighter lash, but it's okay because like I said, I'm going to be taking pictures, and I like when the lashes look thicker in the picture so that it can actually look like there's something there, because like when the lashes are too small, it doesn't look like there's anything there, and then it makes me look weird. So anyways, aside from that, I want to also be going in with a little bit of highlight. The highlight that I'm going to be using is the NK Perfection in the color Misty Rose. I'm just going to take a round brush and just add just a little bit in these areas. And then I'm going to blend all of those areas out with my finger. Except for the part in my inner eye, I wouldn't be able to reach that. And it's gonna look like this. Now we can go ahead and move on to the final part of the makeup, the lip combo. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to clean up my little station. I'm gonna be also using the Princessa eye pencil, or Princessa eye pencil, and I'm gonna go ahead, add just a little bit to the perimeter of my lip, like so, part like that. And make sure you clean up the makeup too. It kind of gets like anywhere you don't want it to be. And then I'm gonna be going in with this Ruby Kisses Jellylicious lip gloss. This is in the color Caramel Frappuccino. So basically you don't have to use this exact lip gloss, but this is basically just a brown lip gloss with a little bit of shimmer. It's like that. This is like the finished result. So not too much on the skin. Like we have like the natural eyebrow look, we have the bright under eye, we have like the blush for the cheeks, a little bit of contour, just a little bit. So but for the most part, we're pretty full coverage. Everything's blended to perfection. Now let me just finish doing my hair, and then you guys can get the full look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I went ahead and kind of styled up my hair. I would categorize this in like the everyday makeup, so not as dramatic as my usual makeup. But either way, I am in love with how this came out. I think it is absolutely gorgeous, and I hope that you enjoyed the outcome. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial as much as I enjoyed filming it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And before I close out this video, be sure to hit that like button if you like the content that I am putting out. That lets me know that you want to see more of it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's working. Y'all are doing it. Our community is growing, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community and join the babes, because we are lit over here. We getting things done like this makeup. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit that notification bell. That way you can be notified for whenever I post any new content, and you won't miss any updates or anything like that, especially because we have a lot of holidays coming up and a lot of things planned. So you don't miss any of that and you're on time with everyone else. Go ahead and hit that bell button for me. And that will be the ends of this video. I'll be closing it out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye babes, love y'all.